I don't wanna be here no more. I'm falling through the cracks in my floor. I'm fading. Don't
Hello everyone,
hate me now.
and
I don't wanna be
welcome
here
back.
no
Uh,
more.
Welcome to the thonking tournament, Semifinals Mappool Showcase. We're gonna have some great maps here today, so gonna see it just here in a moment when we start. We have Synap and Plasma P playing the showcase for us today. It will be very interesting to see how they do on it, of course. Plasma Pie, alright. But it will be very interesting to see here just in a moment when we start. Guessing the first map should be coming on here in just a moment. Here we are. We're gonna start out with our first map, which is Pump by UC. This is the future kind of difficulty, and this is a map by Quill. This is OD 8.8 and HP 8.4. It is a length of 2 minutes and 44 seconds, and it's a 4.03 star. This is our first SV map here of the poll. Probably the easier one out of the SV maps. So this will be very interesting to see how people will do on this. We're starting out here, a little built up part with some small streams here. Into a little jump trail there. As we see some jump stream here. Getting to jump section here with a lot of jumps. And now we should be getting into the SVs here. Very interesting SVs, indeed. So these SVs are pretty fast. There are some pretty tricky ones here once in a while. You'll have to actually practice to get them down correctly. And that was the first chorus. We do have a second chorus coming up as well. Although it'll mostly use the same kind of SVs, so if you can do the first one, you can also do the second one pretty much. So we're gonna see that. Otherwise, pretty normal patterns in between here. Here we go again into the burst section here, into the second chorus. Some of these bursts here are pretty fast, so they might be pretty hard to get correctly. Getting in here to the last section. Pretty simple SVs. As I said, this is the easiest SV chart. We're gonna have some interesting SV maps coming up afterwards, later on in the Mappool Showcase. So that was Pump, the first map here. We're gonna go into the second map in just a moment. Alright, here we go. This is the second map. This is Mascari Blade by Red Allies. This is the Avalon versus the Arcs exhaust difficulty, so it's a collab diff between Avalon and Decade, I think. I'm guessing that's the Arc. This is Erlen Devi map. It's HP and OD8. It's a 1 minute and 54 seconds, and it's a 4-star, 4.09 star map. This is the accuracy map of the poll. So the accuracy map stepping up a little bit from last poll. We're gonna see a few long notes here, but the long notes aren't really the main focus here on this map. Definitely not. Here we go. We have a little bit more streamy here. Should have a burst coming up here. There we go. A little bit faster than overdrivers from the last one. So really interesting. Gonna see how people do on this one. Gonna hope that you stay consistent on this, because missing on this would be crucial. So, like Zeneb does, of course. We're gonna move into a third map here in just a moment. This is a little bit of a lower star chart. Although I would just call it underrated. Here we go. This is Passage D by the Flashbolt. This is the Abyss difficulty. This is a Shoegazer map, so we already know to expect a pretty fast map here. This is 8.3 OD, 8.3 and HP 8.3. This is 1 minute 57 seconds long, and it's a 3.88 star. This is the first tech map of the poll. We're gonna see some pretty tricky bursts and patterns overall. This one is pretty consistent, so players might struggle on this one. As we see here, a lot of bursts. Pretty tricky trills as well. Getting in here to a bit of tricky section here. With a little burst there. I might catch some players off guard if they're not prepared for it. Really tricky burst here with some long notes as well. Very short long notes, it'll be hard to get on Scobie too. And this map just keeps going with these tricky patterns. It doesn't really stop at any point, so it's also a little bit stamina draining maybe for some players. And it just kind of keeps going with these tricky patterns. Pretty tricky ending here. And that was map number 3, Passage D. And we're gonna move into map number 4. Ooh, this is a long title. We have Introduction and Variation, Trugman Bloomin, Variation 5, Remix and Arrange, by Shepard. This is a Fear map. This is the 4K irising difficulty. This is OD7 and HP8. This is a little bit shorter chat, being 1 minute and 39 seconds. This is a 3.99 stars song, so almost 4 stars. When Cinnabelle has the map, of course. There we go. This is our accuracy long note pick. This one doesn't go all out with long notes, but it kinda makes some tricky patterns in with some long notes. Some pretty tricky shields that might catch some players off guard. As we're already gonna see here, we're gonna get into the first little section here. Here we go. Seeing some pretty tricky long notes here. These short ones are also pretty hard on Scovy too. There's definitely a step up here for the accuracy long note pick. You see, they just keep going, these tricky long notes here. You see Plasma Pie struggling a little bit with these. Synap as well dropping quite a lot of accuracy. We're getting in here to the ending. The ending has a little bit of a tricky section here. That was map number 4. We're gonna move into map number 5 here in just a moment. Now, for people thinking this map pull is pretty easy, we're gonna step it up with this next one. Moving into our first speed map in just a moment. Whenever Synap is not slow. Synap doesn't even have the map pull, so we have to wait a little bit with this calm song. There we go. This is whenever there we go. This is 2 dimensions. This is a Nuclear Blast file. It's by Icy World. It's uploaded by Night Bunny 7. This map is 192 BPM and it's jump streams. It's HP and OD7 and it's 2 minutes long and it's a 4.25 star. Gonna see some pretty fast jump streams here. Some of these may even be pretty stamina draining because they kinda go on for a little bit. Already see here getting into the first pit. Although this is just the intro. Already getting into here. Then we have this jump trill that's actually not really a jump trill. It's kind of awkward because it's not a jump trill, it's off sync. So, but as we see here, getting into some jump stream here with a few hands here and there. Gonna be really tricky for the players to get this one. We see Synapse actually missing on this one as well. Have a little bit of a break section here before we go into streams for the rest of the map here. Here we go again. As we see the streams just continue here. And that was map number 5 here, 2 dimensions. Next up here, we're gonna move into map number 6. And that is the wrong difficulty. This way, and we chose to have the no SV difficulty for this one. This is a song by Swimmy, and it is a map by all your favorite mappers. This is by your favorite mapper, Reveal. This is OD 7.7 and HP 8.5. This is 3 minutes and 32 seconds long. This is a 3.87 star, although don't trust that. This is That was really interesting. Both players getting almost the same score, although Sinop getting beaten by 500 points. Yes, we also have anime background. Um, Now we'll move into our next pick here, map number 7, in just a moment. This one is gonna be pretty fun. Here we have our Jack pick. This is Endless Heavy Park. Iosis, by Iosis. This is the Aquins Fabricated. This is a map by Aquinolavirus. This is OD7, HP7. It is 2 minutes and 10 seconds long. This is also 3.98 star. Gonna be a really interesting map. This is gonna be pretty hard for people who don't really like Jags. Since it does have a lot of those, and a pretty long trill. So here we go, getting into some of the Jacks there. There's a lot of mini Jacks there. Also the doubles and the triples as well. Here we go. Some pretty tricky Jacks here. Oh, actually these are the more comfortable ones. These harder ones come now. Yeah, these are pretty long, so. And of course the ending as well. Yeah, this is almost certainly a ban if you're not good at Jacks. And here we go into the long jump trill section here. This one is gonna be so tricky for some players. This is very long, and this can lose you all the accuracy if you don't do it right. Really long trill. But here we go into some more Jacks. And here we go into the last section. This is the hard section of the map here. Gonna see pretty heavy Jacks here. And that was map number 7. So yeah, this one is pretty tricky. Now, next up here, we have our Resident Sleeper pick. Although it's not as Resident Sleeper this time as it was in last round. We have Ophelia by Nato. This is the drowning difficulty. This is a map by Umo. It is OD 8.5 and HP 8. This is 5 minutes and 20 seconds long, and it's a 4.2 star. We're gonna see some pretty tricky LNs. Definitely a step up from the last round of stamina LNs, but gonna see some pretty interesting ones here. This one just overall includes more long notes, although we do have a little bit of a section here. While this one has more lengths, it kinda only either does the long notes or it does streams. So it doesn't do streams and LNs at the same time, really, which is kinda. So you have to like keep switching between this mindset. We do have like a few lefties where you just kinda just few ones coming in, but all those singles. Yeah. But we're gonna see it getting a lot more tricky later on. We also see quite a lot of jacks here. The first section is kind of calm here, with their lands, not too many. Getting the quad lands there. There we go, a little bit tricky first. Here we go into the long note sections. Some pretty tricky long notes here. Very short ones there as well. And now we have a little break section here from all the crazy long notes here. Going in here to a little bit of slower section. Though we do still have some long notes here. Some more tricky releases here. Small inverse section. This will be really tough for a lot of players. Although that is the only really long inverse section in this whole map. Now we go in here to build up some accuracy here and the normal notes before going into the next real long note section. You also have some pretty tricky long notes here. And then we have a little burst here of them. Although a really comfortable pattern. Here we go again. This time we have a few single notes in here as well. Stepping it up a little bit. We have some pretty tricky shields in this section. As well as these short long notes. Are really tricky to hit on Score V2. And here we go, into a little bit of a calmer section again. It's a little bit more rice focused section than the others. Although we do still have these long notes here. Pretty jack heavy as well. Here we see these short long notes here again, tripping players up. It's really tricky because she can't overhold them, or else she'll give you a miss on Score V2. And we're gonna get here to the ending of the map. That was map number 8. Moving pretty fast through these maps today, so we're gonna move into map number 9 in just a moment. This is gonna be the second speed pick. Um, we have You Are Not Beautiful. So this is a song by Tsunagi. This is Challenge 20. This is a map by Blaziken. This is OD8 and HP8. This is 2 minutes and 50 seconds long. This is 4.3 stars. This one is pretty comfortable, but has some pretty tricky patterns. Not tricky patterns. It's pretty fast, but it's pretty comfortable to play. So kind of a little bit of a step up from You Can Recover, and this is just more consistent overall, as we see here. Getting into these little section with a couple of jumps here, starting into the streams here. And we have a burst, pretty fast one. But it's also not fast enough to where you can jump trill it, that one at least specifically. So players will actually have to hit that one correctly. We have a little burst here coming up. This one might trip up some players if they're not ready for it. Pretty long one though. Before we're getting into some more streams here. Here we go. Here we have some tricky patterns there. We're gonna see streams here from now on for the rest of the map. This little section can be stamina draining a little bit, although not too much. So the patterns overall is really comfortable here. Had a little bit of a long oak jack there, but not anything too hard to hit. Bit burst there, as well as one here, right at the end. So this one is really gonna be really fun to see how players do on this one. Now, next up we have our second SV pick. It was a little while since the other one. This one is gonna be a little bit more tricky than the other one. Which was pretty sight readable. This one is still somewhat easy, but it needs a little bit of practice. We have Fuego here, Sakura Burst Remix by Koan and Sound Acer. This is the MX difficulty. This is 4.24 stars. It's a map by Quell. It's OD 8.4 and HP 8.2. This is 2 minutes and 15 seconds long. We're gonna see how players do in this one. Yeah, Yolda already playing it in his warm-up, but now everybody can see how he does on it, so it might be a viable pick if you can't beat his score from the warm-up. We have some pretty tricky SV as we see here. Player struggling a little bit on these. Although this first section I find to be a little bit harder because of the bursts. They can be pretty tricky to hit, so... We see players struggling quite a lot in this one. Since this is sight read for plasma pipe probably. Although Synapse, I don't think it's a sight read. We have the second section here. A little easier to get the hang of than the first section. So that was map number 10, and we have a few more maps left there. 4 maps left. No, 5. We have 5 more maps left. Oh, before the tiebreaker. Yeah. Gonna move into the second technical pick here. We have yet another coil map. This is Dopamine by U1 Overground. This is technical structure. This one is OD 9.2, so it's gonna be pretty hard to accuracy, and it's HP 8.8. So, but it is only 3.86 star. But we can see some really tricky bursts here. This is 1 minute 57 seconds. No wonder Synapse can't play longer, so accuracy anything if he's playing with scroll speed 35. Getting in here too, we have a little bit tricky section coming up. We have these small little bursts, small little streaks with breaks in between. The breaks make them pretty tough to get accuracy on because you kinda like have to readjust to do it every single time. Now we're getting in here to the trills, and these small little longer burst things that are coming through there. These trills are gonna be pretty tough to play through. And here we have a little bit of an SV section, although not too hard. Just a quick slow jam there. Here we go. Some more tricky patterns here. That section is pretty tough because notes are pretty scattered out. So it might be pretty hard to actually accuracy these correctly. You see Synapse actually almost down below DS rank. Okay, we have our little break here. And then we also have some hands in here once in a while. You can also choose this as like a speed pick, since this one is also pretty fast, roll. Although this one you're gonna have to have stamina as well. A little bit of this break section here. Although it still go with dreams. We have a little bit of Felons, a very short one, so and only for that section really. We get a little bit of a burst there. As we see, Plasma Pie is not hitting as centered in the beginning as he was in the beginning. He's starting to lose a bit of accuracy, which is what this pick really does. It kind of makes you tired. It really stamina draining. It just keeps going. A little bit of fine like that. Sinop is alright at speed and stamina, but he can't accuracy anything, so. And he's not really been playing a lot recently, so he's kinda rusty. But we see here, he just keeps going until the end here. Plasma Pie holding on really well, actually. Oh, but misses at the end on the trill section. I'm sorry, Plasma Pie. That was the stamina pick for this round. We're gonna move into next SV pick. This one is also a bit more tricky than Quill's at the first map, of course. That we so this one also gonna take a little bit of practice. Quite a lot of practice. We have Perfect again, the insane difficulty here, by Hitori Toyoro, mapped by the Tofter. This is OD 7.5, and HP 7.5. This is 3 minutes and 13 seconds long. This one is 3.72 stars, so it's the lower difficulty, not the hardest one. But this one does have some really tricky SVs, especially at the end if you can't get them correctly. So it's definitely gonna need some practice. We already see here Plasma Pie not getting the first couple of notes here because it's the slowdown. No wonder he can't do SVs. It's like every time there's a speed up and up screen, it just teleports the whole screen. Well, we had a little bit of more comfortable section. Although we have heals, which you're gonna have to practice to get the right timing on those. It's a little bit more calm section here. And then we have this little speed up part there. It might be pretty tricky, depending. This is the only section here that we don't actually have SVs. As I say that, here we go, SVs. But this one is really the section you can build up some accuracy with. We go into a little bit of the slow jam section, although it shouldn't be too hard. The only thing that might be a little bit hard is getting those 1/8, I think they're long notes. Oh, 1/4, probably. Here we go, into the tricky section here. A little bit of a burst there. We have some tricky rhythms here. Definitely gonna take some practice. And it's a little bit of the easy section here. Until the second half of the section. We have the little bit of the longer section with very minor SVs. So we do have those teleports here. Gonna trip up the players. Now we're entering the real hard section here. These SVs can be pretty hard to do. You probably might actually have to look at the editors to actually figure out how they work somewhat. So tracking them will be pretty tricky for a lot of players. So both players passing it. Doing the last section here, which is still pretty tricky. So that was map number 14, and now we're gonna go into the tiebreaker here, coming up. Now, I'm gonna do a huge shout out to the mappers of this one once it appears. I guess we could just do it now. Gonna give a huge shout out to Lude and Kaneko because we actually had they actually helped us with doing some quick changes with the map that so it fits the map pool pretty nice. Mostly just adding SVs whenever Synit puts it on. Of course.
Don't you know you're blocking my way? Do you know you keep me from going places? I don't need another mistake. I'm not saying the sex wasn't great, but you lie. That's all you do, baby.
Have a little bit of wait time here.
It's not that hard.
Here we go. We have Stellarium, DJ Noriken's bootleg, a song by Kano, with Kaneko Celestial difficulty. This is OD8 and HP9. This map is 6 minutes and 1 second long, so it's pretty long, and it's 4.81 star. So this one will be really interesting here to see. This one has everything that the ball has. Mostly, it has jump stream sections as well as some fast or some tricky land sections. It also have some SV sections also. The SV is probably the minor part of this chart. Mostly just being a slow jam section and some stub SVs. Just waiting for Plasma Tide to come back. And then we will get into the last map here. There we go. And we have anime background here again. Pretty lewd. Getting into it, we have the pretty comparing in here. Here we go. First little SV here. You're gonna see some SVs here on these that might trip up the flow of the actual jump trills. How you actually look at them, as well as some small SVs here and there during this stream. So we see here pretty fast stream here, as well as SVs there in that one. And then we have a little bit of a long note section, some pretty tricky long notes. This one is gonna be really fun to see how players do on it. If they of course make it to tiebreaker. Pretty fast stream here, as well as some more SVs. And here we have a little bit of tricky section. We have a slow jam long note section here, as well as that teleport going into it. So if you're not prepared for that one, it might not be the best of time for you. Oh yeah, some more teleports there. Here we get into a little bit of a tricky long note section. This section's gonna get more tricky every time we're gonna see it throughout the map, so the first time it's pretty normal, but we're gonna see it here again in a moment. It's a little bit of a more tricky version, as well as some SVs there. There we go. Now we have some notes coming along here. As well as this anchoring of the long notes that might just make it a little bit more tough. Overall, making these shields. Getting back into some streams, as well as that SV. That one was gonna coach some players off guard, probably. Moving into the halfway point, There you go, another SV there. That one is pretty tricky if you're not really used to it, because it looks like it's going to be really fast, but it's not as fast as you think it is. It's a PSV. Oh yeah. Getting into more streams there. As well as some long notes put in here. It might trip up some players. Here we go, another slow jam. Long note section here. We have a little bit of an SV section here. We're gonna hope that this tiebreaker will be played, of course. It is really well, and also, of course, thanks to Lud and Kaneko for allowing them to add the SVs to the difficulty. So. Again, a little bit of longer section here. Or we get into the last stream here. Oh, SV part first there. Oh yeah. There's also a lot of minor SVs that you might not notice right now, but you will notice while playing that might trip up a little bit your accuracy. So. A little shield at the end. So that was it for the Semifinals Mappool Showcase. We of course thank you to the players playing the Mappool here. We're gonna end the stream here. So the Mappool will be up a little bit later whenever Cinnamon puts it up. So stay tuned for that and have fun with the Mappool, I guess, for the next round.